Welcome back, everyone, to the A.D.D. show, where we're not always right, but we're never wrong. As always, I'm Marc.
And I'm Hans, and welcome back, everybody. It has been a few weeks since you guys have heard from us.
Yep.
Obviously, in the off-season, things slow down a little bit, but we have said before that the NFL has a way to keep you interested for 52 weeks out of the year.
Yes.
So,
Yep.
as you guys...
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, as you guys who were listening before know, we had our A.D.D. show league last year. So part of this episode is, for winning that league, you get to be on the show. So the winner of the show was Nate, who everybody knows. So Nate, go ahead and say something.
Feels good to be back on with you guys. I mean, not only am I like the number one guest for you guys, I'm also the inaugural winner of the A.D.D. show league. So
yes.
Yep.
Pretty good feeling considering I love this podcast.
There you go.
Yes. Now, we went from 12 to 16 this year.
Yeah, 16 teams.
And it's I think every single person in the league, correct me if I'm wrong, Nate, because you and your other, but is this the first 16-team league you guys have been in?
Yeah, I've never been in a league bigger than 12.
Yeah, I haven't either.
All right. So this is going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be really hard.
Yeah, it's going to be extremely challenging.
Yeah. So
And I'm here for every minute of it. Absolutely every minute of it.
But we've got, we're going to do the draft order in a minute. And what that's going to be is we're going to go from who's picking 16th to who's picking first.
Yep.
So it is going to go that way.
And as a part of that, we are going to do, I don't remember, but let's just say every even team, you'll be on Marc's team, Marc's division, and every odd team, you'll be on my division. So you'll be in the Marc crew or Hans's crew, and that'll be kind of what it is. Nate won the league last year. He was on Marc's side, so Marc's side of the division has a one-up on ours. So we need
now, to be fair, I don't even think I made the playoffs.
You didn't.
Okay, did you?
I think I think it was in the consolation bracket, so no, I think I missed out too.
So both of us, we created this podcast, and neither one of us could even get into the playoffs. So.
Let me tell you something. There were some good teams.
Yes.
In our, there were we could not have asked for a better group of 12 guys that did a great job last year, and I'm excited to add 4 more because 2 of them I know are new friends of mine. And one of them works on the side for a fantasy football website. So I'm very excited about inviting him to the league.
Yeah, you know what that means.
Yes.
He knows nothing.
That means he just gets really lucky or doesn't at all.
Yes. And so with that, today's episode, we're going to go over some fantasy stuff. We're going to go top 10 at the top 4 positions, quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end. Sleeper and a bust if you guys want in every position.
Yep.
And I have a question for you guys at the end if we have time. Okay. So even if we don't, we're going to make time.
Yep.
So with that being said, Nate, any, words of anything before we start with the draft order?
No, I'm just really excited. Last year's league was awesome. There was I was the 4 seed going into the playoffs and ended up winning it. Everyone kind of questioned me for my draft. The way I drafted 3 running backs right out the gate. I ended up with Jonathan Taylor, Alvin Kamara, and DeAndre Swift, and rode their coattails to a championship. So it's good to be back on with you guys, and I'm so excited to figure out this draft order so I can start doing my mock drafts.
All right. So that being said, Christian?
Yep.
Do you want to pick it out of the hat, or you want me to?
I will pick it out of the hat,
all right.
But I want you to write it down for me. Can you do that?
Yes, Nate, that means you're going to have to be quiet because I am holding you with my right hand, so we won't be able to hear you.
Awesome.
All right, so you'll be able to hear us, but we won't be able to hear you.
All right, you ready?
Ready.
All right. So, with the 16th pick, are we doing evens or yours, odds or mine? Okay?
Sure.
So just put an M or a C. With the 16th worst pick in the draft, Austin Earl.
Oh, Jesus. All right, Austin might not win a game this year.
You can hear Nate just trolling over in the corner. Oh, jeez. All right. So with the 15th pick in the, semi-annual A.D.D. show draft.
Yes.
Kevin Reichert. Is that how you pronounce his last name?
Yes.
Reichert? I can't.
That's how we pronounce it.
Next pick in the draft, Steve Felton.
Oh, he's going to be pissed.
There's no good pick in a 16-team draft.
To be honest, I want between 7 and 10.
Yeah, I was thinking like 7 and 12, honestly.
Yeah.
All right, next pick. Ooh, they got like 3 here. Derek Overby. That's the one I said was Joey's friend who lives in Philly and works, I guess, on the side, I guess Joey had said, for a fantasy football website. So,
Okay. All right.
All right, next team. Justin.
Justin Gaines.
So what pick are we at? Was that 11?
That was 12.
That was pick 12?
Yes.
All right.
We're on 11 now.
Logan.
The man that cheats at picking the LOEL drafts.
Yeah, like
but
how do you finish 4th and you get the last pick in the draft? How does that happen? I went from 8th to 12th. I'm just saying collusion. No
well,
big deal.
Nate doesn't make the play. Nate won Nate, hold on. Let me bring you in here. We played in how many fantasy leagues together last year? 4 or 5?
We played in 4 fantasy leagues.
And you won 3, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and you didn't make the playoffs in the most important one, though.
Correct.
He never really does.
I played in 6 fantasy leagues, made the playoffs in 5, took 3rd in 1, won 4 titles, and the one that I care about the most, I think I won 6 games.
Yeesh.
Yeah, so, and you're picking 5th in that league. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
somehow.
Yep, all right.
So what's
We're
our
on number
next
10.
Pick number 10. Michael Brennan.
Michael Brennan.
Oh, man, I'm getting nervous now. Oh, boy. All right.
9th pick.
Pick number 9. Joey Bankert.
Oh,
I believe that's
wow.
how I pronounce his last name.
Okay.
All right.
We don't have anybody in this league with the same first name, right?
No.
All right, good.
All right. Pick number 8. Bray Russell.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God, I'm getting nervous.
Yeah, dude. It better be me coming up real quick or I'm going to be very upset. All right. What did we pick number 7?
7th pick.
Pick number 7. Jay Freshy.
Oh, Jesus.
I promise everybody listening, I have not looked down at this hat yet that the names are in, and there's only like 5 picks left, and it's just us 3 still.
6th.
There's no collusion here.
Yep.
6th. Me.
Christian.
Yep.
Cheater.
I didn't want 6. I said I wanted 10th. Next pick.
Oh, wait.
Devin Wilson Jr.
All right.
The menace.
Devin, I know you listen.
Yeah.
Tighten up this year, boy. All
Yep.
right? Tighten up.
Yeah.
Rams in the second round is not going to happen.
Falcons defense in the second round.
No, Rams.
Did he take the Rams?
He picked Calvin Ridley,
Oh, yeah.
the Rams, Kyle Pitts, and then I think
Ryan.
Matt Ryan. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, let's never. I hope that never happens again.
all right. So this sucks.
Where are we at? Pick 5?
4.
Oh, shoot. Pick 4. Danny Johnson.
All right. Pick 3.
Mark Pleva.
Oh, son of a bitch. At least give me Jonathan Taylor out of anything.
No, you're getting CMC. Probably injured. All right. It's like, I mean, I think what we need to realize is there's, 2 picks left?
Yes.
I think we need to realize there's 2 picks left, and the worst part about it is we haven't said Nate's name yet. And he's
And
our
we haven't
guest.
said Chandler either.
Nope.
So it's between Chandler and Nate.
All right.
All right.
The one in my hand. Chandler Curtis.
Nate has the number 1 pick.
Let's go, Jonathan Taylor. Hey, dude, you can ride Jonathan Taylor to a win. He's already done it once.
Now, one thing I do have to say, Nate, I'm about to pick up the phone. Picking 1 and then
Not picking
back to back.
Yeah.
That's clutch. You know, because that's solid. Now later on is when it gets rough. Rounds 4 or 5. You know.
Yeah, that's when he's
The
gonna.
only good thing about picking in the top 4 of a 16-team draft is you're locked in for a top running back.
Yeah.
Yes.
But then after that, he really has to balance his when do I take my
gotta be
quarterback?
really smart on the bye week.
Yeah. And the quarterback now, because when you pick in the turn of the second to third, it's another 32 picks again.
Now my question to you guys is this, because I'm picking 3rd.
Yeah.
Okay. So my question to you guys is this: at the 3rd pick, do I take a top running back or do I take Cup, Chase, or Jefferson?
If I'm between
Running backs are more valuable.
If I'm between CMC sitting there and the other wide receivers, I'm taking one of the other wide receivers. That's just me.
But
I know
see-
I'm crazy,
but
but
CMC is not even in my top 3 running backs.
But see, the thing is that whoever Chandler takes, so Nate takes Jonathan Taylor.
Yep.
And then Chandler takes CMC, Henry.
Chandler's going to fuck around and take Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, he'll probably take Cooper Kupp.
Probably, and then so I get Henry, I get Dalvin Cook, I get
Henry, probably Henry.
So it's but then it's coming back around.
Yep.
The running back position is going to be very weak.
Well, you'll be Antonio Gibson range. You'll be what's the kid from San Francisco range. You'll be, you'll be.
It's
not even really though, because you got to imagine whoever picks 15th, right?
Yeah.
Is going to be picking 15th and then picking 18th.
Yeah.
They're probably going to take the best wide receiver available, and then because of the way you're drafting, they're going to have to take next best running back.
Yep. Right. Yep.
Which is going to be that Gibson, Elijah Mitchell.
Yep.
Right.
Javonte Williams, Melvin Gordon.
It's going to be tough. Nick Chubb.
Because you're looking at maybe 10 running backs being picked in the first round.
You could, but you could also have. Yeah, with 16 teams, easily 16.
So you're looking at, and then coming back through, the people that didn't take a running back that took wide receiver are picking a running back. So you're SOL.
So,
and it's.
I think the way this works is you definitely want to solidify yourself, preferably in the top 6 or 7, to get that top running back. And if you don't get that top running back, you have to find a way to get one.
Yep. Because how long did that take?
11 minutes.
Okay, I have a question for you both that's bothering me before we get into our rankings, if you don't mind.
No, sure.
Okay, so I have a question for you guys, and everybody, once I ask the question, everybody's going to know where I lie. Yep. Okay, now, where do you rank these two quarterbacks and why? Okay?
Before we even do our rankings?
Before we even do our rankings, who's better out of these two? Who would you rather have on your on your football team?
Okay, sorry.
Okay?
So not fantasy.
Not fantasy. Football team. Okay? Joe Burrow or Herbert?
Oh, jeez. Okay, I knew this was coming.
Yeah, I had a feeling this was going to be happening. Go ahead, Nate.
And the only reason why I ask this is because this is my opinion on this, okay? Yeah. Joe Burrow may not put up the 5,000 yards, okay? He may not put up 40 touchdowns.
More interceptions.
But okay, and he threw more interceptions. But look what he did with this team, okay? And I mean it. You went from 1 win to 4 wins where he blew out his ACL, comes back, and they go to the Super Bowl. Now, yes, they only won 10 games. They went to the Super Bowl. Okay,
I get it.
And the Chargers, Herbert walked into a situation that he had a better squad than what Burrow did. And Burrow's just a leader.
Yeah.
Burrow's a leader. Burrow's going to demand excellence. And that is why I pick him. That's why I would pick Brady over Manning. Even without take the Super Bowls away, I would take Brady over Manning. And I would take anybody over Phillip Rivers because it's the winning. That has to matter. But all the pundits I see are saying Herbert is better than Burrow.
I will say this before I let Nate go. You had a 1-win season, then you had a 5-win season, then you had the 10-win season. You said the winning, I get he has the playoff wins and he has that kind of stuff. But I think starting quarterback record, Herbert's is better. And he's beaten Mahomes 3 times.
Okay. How many playoff appearances?
0.
Okay.
I understand.
So that means no playoff wins.
I know.
So you could beat. I mean, you want to beat 4-0 against Mahomes and not make the playoffs every year, or do you want? No. I'm not getting mad. It's just it bothers me that, and I like it because at the same time it keeps that chip on his shoulder. Yeah. Where Brady always had that chip on his shoulder because everybody said Manning was the best quarterback in the league.
But I would only say the only reason the argument exists is because watching each player on tape, and I've told you, I've changed my opinion on Burrow a lot. I think the people's tape opinion would change, that they would say Herbert is the better athlete, the better passer, and the more Aaron Rodgers-like quarterback. Whereas Burrow has more of the championship mentality, but we also don't know because Burrow also had a crazy efficient 3 top 20 wide receivers. He also had a top 5 running back, which also Herbert did. It's hard to say, would you put one in the other one's situation or one in the other? I think to me they're both very equal, but as of right now, I would take Burrow. I answered my question. I would take Burrow, but I think...
Let me say this before Nate goes.
Okay.
If you switch them, Burrow leads that Chargers team to the playoffs and wins games in the playoffs.
I think if you switch
plain
them,
and simple,
Herbert would have won a Super Bowl because he would have outdueled. The Rams.
Nope.
Okay.
Go ahead. Because Herbert disappears in big games.
Okay.
Go ahead, Nate. Sorry.
I don't think he's watched enough Chargers games, but go ahead. Go ahead, Nate.
I think when you look at these two quarterbacks, they're going to be forever in they're going to go against each other forever in the media limelight because of where they were drafted and things like that. But when you look at these two quarterbacks, it is very much, it's like, would you rather be, and I'm not comparing these players, I'm not comparing Burrow and Herbert to these players. I'm just saying, would you rather have 3 appearances and 2 wins in the Super Bowl like Big Ben, or 1 appearance and 1 win with 3 MVPs like Aaron Rodgers?
Yep.
And put up, relatively similar stats in terms of yards and touchdowns. And I think, and again, I'm not comparing them because Burrow's a better quarterback than Roethlisberger, I think, and I think Herbert's a better quarterback than Roethlisberger too, even in their prime. I think that they are, and I think that they've proven that they are. But it's like Mark likes to joan on Phillip Rivers all the time, but it's like, I hate Eli Manning, and I think everybody who knows me knows that I hate Eli Manning. But would you rather be Eli Manning or Phillip Rivers?
Phillip Rivers.
Right.
I'd rather be Eli Manning.
Eli Manning. Sorry.
One of my favorite quarterbacks of all time is Dan Marino. Okay, Dan Marino would put up 6,000 yards in today's NFL. Let's get that straight. But he's not considered one of the best because he doesn't have the title. But again, Phillip Rivers put up crazy numbers. And I'm not taking away his talent as a quarterback. But I'd rather have less numbers and playoff wins and Super Bowl appearances. Yeah. I don't even care if it's a Super Bowl victory. Be completely honest, all our teams, all 3 of our teams, you guys would be absolutely ecstatic with a Super Bowl appearance, let alone a Super Bowl victory in right now.
I'll tell you this right now. I'd rather have lost to Miami the year before the Joe Burrow, Chase Young, Justin Herbert draft. I'd rather have lost to Miami instead of winning and have the first overall pick and have the choice between Burrow and Herbert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say this, and this has nothing to do with the conversation. I'd rather win a playoff game or 2, lose in divisional round, than lose in the Super Bowl. That's just me. I don't want to lose in the Super Bowl. I'd much rather, if I'm there, I want to win it.
I'd rather get there and say that I've been there. Only so many quarterbacks have ever even been there. Then.
Right.
And so what you're saying, Hans, is I'd rather win in the first round in the wild card and then lose in the divisional round 5 straight years than make 1 Super Bowl? Are you nuts? You have the same amount of playoff wins if you do that.
Well, you didn't say 5 years. You just said which one would you rather. I'm assuming on a 1-year basis. If I can go to the Super Bowl, I want to win it. I just feel more disappointed with a loss knowing we were that close. If you're not ready, you're not ready. I'm saying for fans that have been fans of losers for a long time, if we are there, we want to win it. What I'm saying is it's almost more heartbreaking for Bengals fans if they lost than if they never made it at all.
I disagree because
I disagree.
I'm just going based off what the pages say.
You know what you're capable of.
I get it.
Now you have the respect of everyone in the league that you thought you should have had.
And you may never go back.
They make the playoffs in a row under Marvin Lewis. What was it, 7, 8 years in a row?
And never won a game.
Anything?
I get it.
I'd rather have gone to the Super Bowl and lost than to do what Justin Herbert did.
Yes.
Yeah. See, this is the only thing I'll say. For me, I would pick Joe Burrow based off of their careers in the league so far. Again, in 3 years, this could be a different conversation. We don't know. But as of right now, I pick Joe Burrow because he has the better championship mentality. But the Chargers could win their division and win the Super Bowl, and so could the Bengals next year. We have no idea. Right. So based off of now, I will say Burrow for me. And it has nothing to do with you being a Bengals fan or being in the same room.
The crazy thing is Nate said something earlier, like when he said, I'd rather have lost to Miami and had a decision between Herbert and Burrow. The funny thing is that wasn't the decision that year. It was either Burrow or Young.
Yeah.
And I was scared that they were going to take Chase Young.
Yeah.
I was really scared.
Don't get me wrong. Chase Young was the defensive rookie of the year, and I think he's probably still a top 10 player under 25 on defense. He was hurt last year. And if you watch the tape from last year, he wasn't the fucking problem. But it's the biggest problem with me is when you're looking at Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow. Justin Herbert looks like somebody to me who goes out there and he just plays football. He doesn't give a damn. He just plays football. If you watch him in the post-game interviews, he never has that like grit where he's like, we're going to come back and we're going to dominate. He's never the type. He's not the type of quarterback to give that Tim Tebow speech when they lost to Ole Miss and Tim Tebow went on that run and won a national title.
Right. And that's
not that kind of quarterback. Whereas Joe Burrow will tell you, hey, I'm here. We lost today, and it sucks. It's not happening again.
Right. And like the Burrow said, the last day of OTAs, it's time to lock it in now.
Yeah.
Like we're locked in. Like there is no. He goes, I'm going on vacation with my personal trainer. He goes, I am drinking, and sleeping football.
Yeah.
And I mean, again, I liked Burrow coming out of college.
Yeah.
I don't even care that. I mean, yes, I love the fact that he's on the Bengals, but I think I'd be a fan of his regardless because just the type of player he is. Now Herbert, again, we all just said he surprised me. I know he surprised me, and I know Nate's even said he surprised him. Yep. You were the only one on the Herbert train,
And I was on the Burrow train. I just wanted to find a reason to give some hell that I thought Herbert was going to be better. And I do say Burrow has been the better quarterback in the league. And stats don't mean anything. We know this. Herbert has the better stats. I just kind of want to see in the next 10 years how their careers go because I think it's a fun talk story. Like, we know for 5-6 straight years, the Dak and Wentz story was huge, and it never ended. The Peyton Manning and the Tom Brady story.
Before the last question, yes or no, you can add a quick little thing to this if you want because I know we ran off the rails here for a second. Has Burrow Herbert overtaken Mahomes Allen? As far as hype.
Yeah, I'd say hype-wise.
I'm going to say for the moment, because fantasy's around the corner, yes. But in the grand scheme of things, no. Because Allen and Mahomes have played each other, 5 times now? 3 times when it mattered?
Yeah.
Whereas Burrow and Herbert have never had a game where it's mattered that they played each other. And
they played each other twice, right now?
Yep. Herbert and the Chargers blew them out of the water.
Yeah, I think both. The Chargers beat them twice. I know
think
that.
It was both games.
But it's. But I was just wondering that. So, without further ado, we're going to get into what position you guys want to do first. The most exciting QB, or do you want to do the least exciting tight end?
Two tight end.
All right. So tight end. Let's start at 10-1.
Is everybody just going to name their top 10 one person at a time, or are we all going to do our 10s and all of our 9s and all of our 8s?
How do you want to do it?
I'll just say just one person goes and we'll discuss.
Okay. All
Whoever wants to go first.
Go ahead, Nate.
Not me. I'm the guest.
Okay, so I'll go first.
Okay.
I'm going to do 10-1.
Okay.
So at 10, I've got Zach Ertz. Number 9, I got Pat Freiermuth. Number 8, I got Schultz. Is it Jordan Schultz?
Dalton
Schultz. 7, I've got Goddard. 6, I've got Waller. 5, I've got Hawkinson. 4, I've got Pitts. 3, I've got Kittle. 2 is Andrews. And number 1 is Kelsey.
Mark, our lists are very similar.
I will tell you my sleeper because of the news, not just because of the news today, but just because of I feel like he's going to be a decent part of the offense is Cameron Brate. And my bust is Jaceki.
Yeah, I didn't do. Sorry, I just want to make it clear earlier. I didn't do busts or sleepers for every positional group. Just 1 and 2 overall.
Okay.
Just so you know, I didn't do my
That's
sleeps
fine.
for these.
I'm sure if you pull up a list real quick, you could probably do your busts and sleepers.
I
if
probably
you want
could.
Me to go, I'll go second so you can pull up a list, so that way you can do it too.
All right, go ahead.
So for me, again, Mark, our lists are very similar. I've got number 10, Pat Freiermuth. Number 9, I have Dawson Knox.
Ooh, okay.
Number 8 is where I slot T.J. Hawkinson.
Okay.
Number 7, Dallas Goedert. Number 6, Darren Waller. Number 5, Dalton Schultz. Number 4, George Kittle. 3 is Pitts. 2 is Mark Andrews, and number 1 is Kelsey.
Okay. Now let me ask you a question. Did you even hesitate putting Kelsey number 1? Like, did you think about putting Andrews number 1?
It was like a split second.
Okay.
And then I remembered that Tyreek Hill's no longer there, and it's Juju Smith-Schuster and Marquise Valdez-Scantling and Sky Moore and Michael Hardman. So who the hell is Pat Mahomes going to throw the ball to when he's in trouble? He's going to throw it to Travis Kelce.
Okay. All right.
All right, it took me a minute.
Oh, wait. Sleeper and bust.
So for me, my sleeper is David Njoku.
Okay.
And my bust is actually the same, Gesicki.
All right. Now, did you pick Njoku because Watson is going to be his quarterback and Watson loves tight ends?
Stop it.
That was part of it. because when Watson was in Houston, Watson made nobody at tight end relevant.
He missed it.
But I also think that there's no Austin Hooper. The rookie they drafted last year sucked and proved it. He dropped 2 touchdown passes that were wide open. He's got a lot of developing to do, and I think that they're going to use David Njoku much like Dallas used Dalton Schultz last year.
Okay.
He's going to be a slot receiver. He's going to be doing jet sweeps. He's going to be, doing a lot of tight end screens because he's so fast.
Okay.
All right. So my list at 10, I have Irv Smith.
Okay.
Yep. 9, Pat Freiermuth, however you pronounce it. 8, Dallas Goedert. 7, Dalton Schultz. 6, T.J. Hawkinson. 5, George Kittle. 4, Kyle Pitts. 3, Darren Waller. 2, Mark Andrews, and I have Kelsey at 1.
Okay.
I'd say the big one is Kittle at 5, and that's just because sometimes of health and quarterback uncertainty for me. I just don't know what he's going to do target-wise. Does he like wide receivers more? Are they going to go extremely even more run-heavy? I have no idea. And I just put Kelsey over Andrews because, to me, I feel like losing Hill, someone's going to have to get even more targets. And they have a bunch of dudes. They have Juju. I get that. They have the Sky Moore kid. I understand that. But to me, I just feel like Kelsey is on board for a huge year.
Okay.
That's just me.
Yep.
You have Irv Smith over Dallas Goedert.
No. Dallas Goedert is an 8. I have Irv Smith at 10.
You didn't even name him. I was like, are you kidding me?
No, I have Dallas Goedert at 8. No,
Okay.
Dallas Goedert's extremely talented.
All right.
So my sleeper is Irv Smith. That's just me. That's
Okay.
why I put him at 10. That's
Okay.
because he's ranked at 15.
Okay.
My bust is Mike Gesicki as well. That's what I wrote down.
Okay. So neither one of you have Ertz in the top 10.
I'm just not feeling
No.
it. I'm
Okay.
not feeling it, man. He's old. 32. A lot of
Yeah,
other.
it has
What?
nothing to do with his age for me. I think he still can play the game and play it at a
Oh, I
very
think he
high
can
level.
too. But top
It's the
10.
style of offense that they run. Kyler Murray doesn't. He utilized the tight end a lot in college, but he hasn't done it. He hasn't done it enough to produce a tight end on a consistent level, fantasy wise.
Yeah.
At the NFL.
I don't want to mean like his age, like he's too old to do it. I just meant like, age-wise at 32 to produce a top 10 fantasy season is kind of. I think it's just a little bit tougher behind him when he has been kind of slowing down the last few years.
All right.
And I also, you guys are a little low on Dalton Schultz, in my opinion.
7? I had him at 7. Is that low?
I had him at 8.
Dude, I had him at 5.
5.
Dude was the number 4 overall tight end in fantasy last
Well,
year.
he was big.
Yep. I was shocked you put Waller so high.
I don't know. I just have that feeling that I still think he's top 5. I could put Kyle Pitts over, but I just think Kyle Pitts' 1-year track record is. I just want to see more before I put him even higher. He's talented. Don't get me wrong, and he's going to be the only mouth in that offense.
He had the best rookie tight end season since 1968.
I know.
1,000 yards. Now it's so I mean, pretty much my opinion is the first 4 for me: Kelsey, Andrews, Kittle, Pitts, and then everybody else on that. Like it's like sort of interchangeable.
Yeah.
And like I could see Waller going off. I could see Freiermuth going off too.
Rookie quarterback, tight ends.
It's but tight end is the hardest one to find. 10 solid.
Yeah.
So wide receiver. I honestly think there's 15 to maybe stretching it 20 wide receivers that could be in the top 10
For sure. This is the hardest position in Group 2.
So my top 10 is this: 10 to 1. Number 10 is T. Higgins. Number 9, Keenan Allen. Number 8, Mike Evans. Number 7 is Stephon Diggs. Number 6 is Deebo Samuel. Number 5 is Tyreek Hill. Number 4 is Devontae Adams. Number 3 is Jamar Chase. Number 2 is Justin Jefferson. And number 1 is Cooper Kupp.
Wow.
My sleeper is Allen Robinson. Okay. And my bust is Mike Williams.
Interesting.
Yes. So anything.
Wow, okay.
I would
That's why
flip
you
your
have
sleeper
Allen
and bust.
ranked high because you think Mike Williams is a bust.
I would flip your sleeper in your butt. But go ahead. keep going.
It's just something about him. I've loved him in college. just I haven't seen sort of what you've said about Pitts.
Did you say Williams or Allen? Keenan Allen. Sorry, I'm just saying.
Williams is my bust.
William. Okay, never mind then. Keep going. I thought you said Keenan Allen. Sorry.
No, Mike Williams is my bust.
Okay.
But I know you're both really high on Mike Williams. I know you both really like him. I've never have. If I have a choice between Mike Williams and, a couple wide receivers down from him, I'd probably pick a couple wide receivers down from him.
It's injury history. Yeah.
But any other names, any names on that list that you're like, eh?
I
think you're low on Diggs.
Okay.
Yeah.
In my top 6, who would you move down to put Diggs up?
Who is your top 6 again?
Debo, Hill, Adams, Chase, Jefferson, and Kupp.
Debo.
Your top 3 I would keep as is. I would put Diggs over Adams and Hill.
Okay.
I'm also not being a homer here. Surprised you don't have C.D. Lamb as number 1 target over Higgins, the number 2 wide receiver.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I know that T. Higgins is Higgins is a monster. He's an absolute beast, but he's the second fiddle there.
And
second fiddle that had
C.D. Lamb, who are bona fide number 1s.
But here's the thing for me with C.D. Lamb. Okay, C.D. Lamb 11, 12, something along those lines. In wide receivers, like we just said, anybody in the top 20 is you're good. With C.D. Lamb, this is the thing that I question. There is nobody on that team to help him. He is going to be bracketed left and right. And I want to see it as him being the number 1.
I mean, even when he was in the slot last year in other positions, even when he was bracketed, when Amari Cooper was out or disappeared, he still performed. That's why I will have him in mind. I don't have him very high, but it's nothing against it. You have a wide receiver 2 over a wide receiver 1 who's going to get a lot of volume.
Yes, and the only reason why is the way he finished the season last year when he was healthy.
Yeah.
First half of the season, he wasn't healthy. In the playoffs, he wasn't healthy,
Yeah.
but he's going to come back. And my thing is this, is when they started paying attention to Chase, Higgins 8.
Yeah.
And you're not going to single cover Chase.
Yeah. I get it.
So my thing is T. Higgins is going to eat. He's great at running. Now, again, it may be the orange Kool-Aid and everything, but
that's okay. I also will say this.
I would rather have a guy that's proven he can be a number 1 and he's the number 2 now, but he's only gotten better every year.
And it's probably because he's also a year older than C.D. Lamb too. But I will say this. This is my only thing, and I'm not arguing the CeeDee Lamb point, is that when Dallas over the offseason lost 56% of their target share, it's got to go to someone.
Yep.
And it's week 1, it's both of those players are gone. Amari Cooper and Gallup for 4 weeks. They have the rookie, they have James Washington, whatever he'll end up being. You have Pollard now and Dalton Schultz. Somebody's got to get it. And they can bracket him all they want, but he might get 10 catches for 80 yards. And he might rack up those catches and targets. And I think he might work his way. And I'm just saying, I'm not disagreeing with you. You said around 12. I just was surprised not to hear that name in your top 10.
Yep.
All right, go ahead, Nate.
For me, number 10, I've got C.D. Lamb. Number 9, I have Terry McLaurin. Number 8, I have Tyreek Hill. 7, I have Mike Evans. 6, I have Deebo Samuel. 5, Devontae Adams. 4, Stephon Diggs. 3, Jamar Chase. 2, Justin Jefferson. And 1, Cooper Kupp.
All right.
My sleeper, for me, my sleeper is Deontay Johnson.
Okay.
People are counting him out in Pittsburgh with the quarterback situation. And then my bust is Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
Okay. So no Keenan Allen in the top 10.
No, and that's because I believe more in Mike Williams than I think you do.
Okay.
And Justin Herbert likes Mike Williams.
Yeah.
So I think that Keenan Allen is going to be in that 12 to 15 range, and Mike Williams is also going to be in that 12 to 15 range.
But his ceiling potentially this year could be higher.
Yep.
All right,
So I think that Keenan Allen's the top, in my opinion, if you're looking at non-fantasy, just regular wide receivers, he's the top 10 wide receiver in the league, no questions asked.
I think to agree with you, to extend an olive branch like Mike Evans is, This is just me with Keenan Allen. It's not has anything with Chargers. I've loved Keenan Allen for years. Keenan Allen is one of the most underrated wide receivers in the league, like Mike Evans was. His amount of 1,000-yard seasons when nobody's paid attention to him is ridiculous.
Yep.
Like Brandon Cooks, a little bit like that.
Yep.
Like he's quarterback proof still, and it's just like you're like, wait, Keenan Allen has like 8 straight seasons of 1,000 yards. Like, yeah, dude, he's always there.
Right. So McLaurin, is he signing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see why he wouldn't.
And so you think he's going to put up top 10 fantasy numbers?
I mean, he's put up top 15 every year he's been in the league, and that's with 8 different quarterbacks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
If he can get the
So
touchdown
he has a
numbers up.
quarterback that can finally throw the ball more than 40 yards down the field.
If he can
Okay.
I will say, if he can get more than 6 to 7 a year touchdowns, he's deadly in
Yeah,
fantasy.
McLaurin's in the 15 range for
he's
me.
gotta get the touchdowns up.
Which
Yeah.
again, like, and I know I always say this, being in for fantasy wise, being in the top 15 for wide receivers with the names we are mentioning.
Yeah.
It's not a bad
No.
thing. Like it's just, the funny thing is a lot of names in here very young.
Yeah. It's getting younger.
And if you're not hip to what the young kids are doing in fantasy, and I really sounded really old there saying hip to what the young kids are doing, but if you're not aware, you're out.
Before I go, I'll say this. Fantasy football, what I've noticed over the years that I've been now really into this, is you're getting a situation where people are starting to go, to, I don't want to say Hopkins, but older wide receivers that are more established and proven, and they're starting to go, ooh, Chris Olave. Ooh, Justin Jefferson is a rookie. They'd rather take a flyer on a rookie number 1 or 2 over the solidified number 1. Like, I know right now, Sky Moore is being drafted 4 positions higher than Juju Smith-Schuster for the Chiefs. And I'm like, not that I don't think Sky Moore is good. Juju's going to be could potentially be the number 1 because he's the veteran target. I know the TikTok and I get it, but he's a talented wide receiver. And with Patrick Mahomes, he could have that talent, but people are still drafting Sky because we have this infatuation in fantasy. I do it myself with rookie players, especially in a high role with a high offense. Like, I know Green Bay's number 1 wide receiver, that Christian whatever kid, is going to go mind-bogglingly early because of Aaron Rodgers. And he might only have 500 yards.
Yep.
That's what I've noticed.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and do mine. My number 10 is Keenan Allen, Mike Evans at 9, CeeDee Lamb 8, Tyreek Hill 7, Debo 6, Devontae Adams 5, Stephon Diggs 4, Jamar Chase 3, Justin Jefferson 2, Cooper Kupp 1.
Damn, so from 6 up, me and you are the same.
Yep.
Okay, so my question to you guys, well, you can do your sleeper. Do you have a sleeper and a bust for those?
I do. My sleeper pick, again, is because of his ADP, is Brandon Cooks.
Okay.
He's once again being drafted 25th overall right now, and that again, mind-blowing. He's quarterback-proof. It doesn't matter who's throwing to him. He does it every year.
Okay.
And the one I wouldn't draft, and mainly it's because I also would say I think he's a bust based on where he's being drafted, is Allen Robinson.
Okay.
No, sorry, I said that wrong. A.J. Brown. That's
A.J.
the
Brown.
one. Yep.
Okay.
A.J. Brown, he goes from Tannehill, who's a more accurate passer than Jalen Hurts is, where he was the number 1 option for most of the year because Julio wasn't there, and he still barely cracked top 20 every week. Barely. And I would say they have another 1,000-yard wide.
When A.J. Brown, no, false. When A.J. Brown was healthy last year, he was a top 5 wide receiver 6 of 8 weeks that he was in the top 10.
You may be right. Okay, you could be.
Wait,
I just looked.
Are you saying Nate Schefter may be right?
He probably is. I was just saying when I wrote.
A.J. Brown's a dog, and I think that has a potential to be a dog in Philly. I just don't think it's with Jalen Hurts.
What I'm saying is I don't feel comfortable spending a second-round pick on him. There's no chance with another 1,000 yards. Yes, that's what I mean by his bust. I was just saying when I meant barely cracked top 20 was the weeks when he was that number 1 option last year, and the year before he had good weeks, but he had weeks where he wasn't even top 20. And the hard is you want that consistency. If you're going to spend your second pick on a top wide receiver, if you're picking 15 and you're sitting there, are you taking him over Chubb? Or are you taking CeeDee Lamb over? Like, you're in that situation where you're like, you look at his quarterback, and Jalen Hurts is a little bit of an accuracy problem. They have mouths to feed, and there's already another 1,000-yard wide receiver in Devontae Smith there. I just see it being, for me, A.J. Brown being better on Sunday than fantasy. That's me. I see him being very good for the Eagles, but I just don't see him being a second-round grade in the beginning of the year. I could be proved very wrong. That's just me. I wouldn't spend it.
You guys are very low on Hill.
No.
I don't see him taking that big of a drop.
I mean, 7? That's not that low.
I mean, when the quarterback that he has throws it at his feet.
Yeah, dude, I'm the same thing with Hurts as I am with Tua. Just it's accuracy issues. It's just not there. I haven't seen it yet.
Like Tyreek Hill to me is going to have – he's still going to have those 30, 40-point games because he's going to take 170 yards.
Yeah.
He's going to take a wide receiver screen 70 yards. But he's also going to have way more under 15-point games this year than he's ever had in his career, and as far as fantasy is concerned, in my opinion.
All right.
Yeah, I agree 100% with what he said. You have another mouth to feed there. I understand he had there with, when he was with Kelsey, but you have Waddle to feed. And Waddle was a top 10 wide receiver last year in fantasy. And then you have a quarterback who we've seen has a tough time getting the ball deep to a wide receiver who, I'm not saying it, but you hear people argue, can only run deep. And I think that's mind-blowing. I think he's extremely talented. I think this move is better for real-life Sunday than it is for fantasy. That's just me.
All right. And how do you think you guys aren't high on Adams either? Adams, number one wide receiver last year before. You think it's the downgrade with Carr to from?
I'm higher on.
I'm at 5.
Yeah, I'm higher on him than I am on Hill because I think Derek Carr's a better quarterback than Tua.
Okay. All right.
Me too. And I also think that he's going to benefit from the fact that there's Darren Waller.
Yep.
There's Hunter Renfrow.
Yep.
Devontae Adams he's always been the guy, and he's got
And
so I think that he has an opportunity maybe.
Vegas has a run game, which also helps.
If you put Aaron Rodgers on that Raiders team, they're a Super Bowl favorite.
Yeah. I also think the Raiders have running back options, which also help too, so the pressure's taken off of him. And I think that helps too. I don't think he has to be 1,500-yard wide receiver to have success there. But I still think he's going to put up stupid numbers.
All right. Now running backs. So I will read my top 10 running backs. I'm shocked I didn't put one running back in the top 10, but I sort of just didn't really think he was going to be a top 10 this year, so I didn't. But I was shocked I didn't. But 10, Cam Akers. 9, Swift. 8, Mixon. 7, Harris. 6, McCaffrey. 5, Eckler. 4, Cook. Number 3 is Kamara. Now, I put in parentheses, if he is suspended, I move him down a little bit.
Yeah.
And then 2 is Henry. 1 is Taylor. My sleeper is CEH. And my bust is James Conner.
Where'd you have Eckler?
5.
Okay. I didn't think I heard his name.
Now, I heard Nate yell what when I said Cam Akers. I think this kid is going to be a bell cow this year. I think they're good.
This was last year, and what happened?
Well, he was hurt. He tore his Achilles.
What happened?
He was a rookie, and they were expecting it.
He's a second-year player.
He's in a second. This is a third year.
Yeah, last year he tore his Achilles. He didn't play a game. Now, my thing is this. Before that, he was in the conversation just like J.K. Dobbins, just like all these guys. And then he tore his Achilles, and he wasn't healthy all year. So I think he's still going to be able to put up top 10 numbers. I think they want to run the ball. I don't think they want to throw it as much as they did last year.
Downgrade Allen Robinson real quick, guys.
But it's I just believe in Cam Akers. I wanted to put Swift higher, but that running back position, those top 7.
Can you just real quick, I'm sorry. Can you just run through it again real quick as fast as possible?
Akers, Swift, Mixon, Harris, McCaffrey, Eckler, Cook, Kamara, Henry, Taylor.
Wow, so you have Akers and Swift over Nick Chubb.
Yes, and that's the one that I did. I just, I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what that offense is going to look like.
Well, without Deshaun Watson, they're going to be running the ball a lot again.
Maybe.
I'd be floored if he doesn't get suspended by the league. I'd be floored.
But I mean, it's going to be less than a year now.
Yeah, it will be.
But I just don't know what that team has.
Yeah.
And your offensive line took a hit. You don't have the quarterback. And if you don't have a quarterback that scares you, what are you going to do? Mm-hmm. You're going to load the box. Now, Chubb is a beast.
I was going to say that didn't matter last year.
But their offensive line was a lot better last year.
And Hunt was top 20 last year, too, with him.
So I just look at it as another year older, a downgrade in the offensive line, a major downgrade possibly at quarterback for half the season. I'm looking at it as your division is hard and your schedule's hard.
Yeah.
And Can he be top 5? Most likely, and I'm going to be proven wrong. But I just think with the sharing of the ball with Hunt and the fact that, now if Hunt's traded, like the rumor is that he's going to be traded, Chubb bounces up into the top 10, but then you have that other kid there. Yeah. What's that? Ernest Johnson or something like that?
Johnson.
So, so I just look at it as he's not going to get the majority. He's not going to get 80% of the carries. So that's why, but again, he's the one. I said I'm surprised I didn't put him in here. Yep. And he's the one. But yeah, that's my list.
Okay. Go ahead, Nate.
Fair enough. Number 10, I've got Leonard Fournette. Number 9, Nick Chubb. Number 8, Najee Harris. 7, Joe Mixon. 6, Austin Eckler. 5, Christian McCaffrey. 4, Alvin Kamara. 3, Dalvin Cook. 2, Derrick Henry. Number 1, Jonathan Taylor.
Okay, who was 10?
Leonard Fournette.
Why? I see he's ranked like the 7th highest, like the 7th, ranked 7th in like the, ESPN rankings for running backs.
Yeah, they're a little high on him.
You know why? Because when he was healthy last year and was the bell cow, he was a top 5 running back 10 times.
Okay.
I mean,
and now they lose Ronald Jones. So who are they going to give the ball to? Giovanni Bernard?
Hey. Do not poop on Giovanni Bernard.
You just hurt Mark.
Giovanni Bernard is a pass-catching running back. He's not a bruiser. Leonard Fournette's a stud, and Tom Brady's only getting older. So they're going to run the ball. They're going to find a way to incorporate him a little bit more. I mean, playoff Lenny was a real thing for a reason. Dude was a stud.
Right.
I have a lot of faith in him, to be honest with you. And I think that in a Byron Leftwich offense, it makes a lot of sense.
Okay. Sleeper and bust?
For me, my sleeper is Josh Jacobs. I think a lot of people are sleeping on him. He was a 1,000-yard rusher last year. He's also the guy that's going to get all the touchdowns when we get down close.
Okay. I think the reason why is because they drafted that kid so high. White, I think. And they didn't pick up his option.
I know they didn't pick up his option, but they're still going to utilize him.
Yeah.
I think that I'm not saying he's going to be a top 10 running back, but if you're in the 3rd, 4th round and he's there, you take him.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And then my bust is Aaron Jones.
Okay.
Yeah, if you look up his backup, I forgot his name.
A.J.
They
Dillon.
were both very close to having the same fantasy season, ironically.
Yes.
Yeah.
I look at it as Aaron Jones going to be catching the ball an awful lot.
Yep.
Again, in the 3rd, 4th round range, if you can get him, yes. Is he a keeper or somebody that you would draft in the 1st or 2nd round? No.
Yeah.
But
here's my thing is not the guys that were drafted by Green Bay at the wide receiver position are deep threats.
Yep.
Then you've got big body Allen Lazard. You have Randall Cobb. You still have Tanyan. And A.J. Dillon's going to be the guy they hand the ball to on the goal line.
Yep.
Lazard's going to be their number 1 at the end of the year.
Yeah. So my question to you is this, Nate. In LOEL, we have 2 keepers. Okay, so technically you're starting the draft in the 3rd round. At number 5, if Aaron Jones is there, do you pass on him?
Well, it depends on,
it would depend on who else is there, to be honest with you.
But there is a chance.
What
Aaron
if
Jones.
Wilson? What if Wilson was there?
What if Jacobs was there?
I would take Aaron Jones over Josh Jacobs at that particular spot.
What about?
I think that it's so close that I would be fine if I took Jacobs.
What about? And this is nothing. It's just another name that popped in my head. What about in the same? Because they're being drafted about 8 spots apart. Zeke Elliott. You still take Aaron Jones?
I think Tony Pollard is a bigger threat to Zeke than A.J. Dillon is to Aaron Jones.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Okay.
I just think of names around the same draft. I've done a lot of them, so trying to think of the draft position.
Tony Pollard's going to be someone that's targeted in the 5th round this year, and that's crazy for a backup running back.
Yep. Javonte Williams.
Oof.
I hate his backfield. I hate it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Melvin Gordon there is
because Melvin Gordon was a 1,000-yard rusher last year.
Yep.
Okay. All right. I just was, that's just another running back name that popped in my head that we haven't mentioned. So, but go ahead.
No, I mean, if you're looking at if I'm looking at Aaron Jones or who's the guy from? How am I drawing a blank? The guy from the Jets, Breece Hall.
Breece Hall.
Or Travis Etienne. I'm taking Breece Hall or Etienne.
Yeah, Breece Hall is definitely somebody.
All right.
In that same range.
If my sleeper was either going to be CEH or ETN. And
yeah, I like ETN, but with Robinson being there, I almost like Breece Hall. I think Breece Hall's going to be bell cow there. I mean,
ETN is going to be like the new age Austin Eckler. I'm telling you.
Yep.
Okay, so real quick, in New York, Hall is going to be over Carter?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I would bet $50 on it. I mean, I don't have that kind of money. I'd bet $50 he starts.
Okay.
I would bet money.
He's extremely talented, man.
Carter's going to be more of the third down, short yardage option.
Yep,
okay.
I could see that.
All right.
For sure.
I again, it's me not knowing college.
No,
I know Hall's a rookie,
tape.
but I also
Hall's
know
good.
that Hall is being said that being drafted higher than Carter, and they're saying that he's going to start, and which shocked me because Carter had a good rookie season.
But it's also another
No,
situation.
he had a great rookie season, but Breece Hall is a monster.
It's the same thing.
If Breece Hall came out a year earlier, he would have been the number one running back.
Yep, for sure.
Okay.
I think another thing to look at, I'll do mine in a second. Another one to look at is Seattle's situation with Carson. Carson likely not to be able to be playing and likely not being their starter. They got that Kenneth Walker kid, but they also have...
But they also have Rashard Penny.
Yeah, but they have Rashad Penny, and Rashad Penny, from what I was reading, it reminds a lot of the fans, similar to that kid you were just talking about for the Jets, where the rookie in camp so far has looked really, really good. So if you are a Penny fan, that other kid could take some carries away. So it's interesting to see these rookie running backs that are taken in the third and fourth rounds getting a lot of attention in fantasy.
Okay.
So at me for 10, I have Nick Chubb.
Okay.
9 is Najee Harris. I have DeAndre Swift at 8, Alvin Kamara 7, Joe Mixon 6, Dalvin Cook 5, CMC at 4, Derrick Henry 3, Eckler 2, Jonathan Taylor 1.
Wow, you are low on Cook, my guy.
Yeah, a little lower. I could have swipped him.
You're low on Harris.
Why?
Why?
Mm-hmm.
Harris, I mean, he's nothing but going to get carries.
He's going to continue to get carries, but his average depth of yard per carry was one of the worst in the leagues last year. He got a lot of
but
carries.
He was a top 7 back last year?
And I have him at 9. It's only 2 spots farther.
Okay.
It's not that bad. But I'm also high on DeAndre Swift. I think he's going to get a lot of volume this year. I think
you're too high on Eckler.
Big Eckler guy. You've always been a big Eckler
Yeah.
guy.
But why Kamara so low?
Why Kamara at 7?
Yeah.
Because I think Joe Mixon and Dalvin Cook, I think, are going to have better years. And I put CMC there because I think CMC has to be there. I think if he's healthy, he provides what you want from CMC. Taylor, we know what you're getting. And Eckler has been doing it for 3 straight seasons as a top 5 running back.
But Kamara's had better seasons than Mixon and Cook the past 2 years combined.
That's why I was asking, because Kamara, I've poo-pooed on Kamara a lot, and Nate's been a Kamara fan,
he won me 4 titles last
year. But and what I did was I looked at his numbers, and damn, it shocked the hell out of me his 3-year run that he's on right now.
The hardest part for me was probably right at about Kamara. Don't include Swift, Najee Harris, and Chubb in that. Was that Alvin Kamara? I wouldn't be mad with any of the top 7 in any of my spots. I wouldn't be mad with Taylor, Eckler. I mean, you're not getting Taylor at 4, but Eckler, Henry, CMC, Cook, Mixon, and Kamara, I would take all of them in pretty much the same spot, 3 to 5. I would take any of them.
So
if they were there.
And the last couple of years, this is a big if CMC is healthy, is he a number 1 running back? Is he the top fantasy running back again? Is he the best running back in the league again?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Really?
No. I think it's Taylor's game, and we're living in it.
The way they use Jonathan Taylor.
It's Taylor's world. We're just living in it. Yeah, I think it's his turn.
So because I see if CMC's healthy, okay, and he plays 17 games, I see 1,000.
Yeah. I could see that out of the quarterback. I mean, the situation in I guess he is quarterback proof.
Quarterback. I mean, what are they going to do? Are they trading for Baker Mayfield? Yeah.
Baker Mayfield might help. I have no idea. It's a good point.
See, I'm still a Sam Darnold fan. I know I shouldn't be, but
I gave him one chance 1 year. I'm off of him.
He's dead
to me.
It's just an interesting thing because CMC is a keeper.
Yep.
If you have him, it's almost like you have to keep him.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
But at the same time, it's like I know Malik, who has him in League of Extraordinary Legends. was trying to. He doesn't. I don't think he wants him.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't.
You know, and if you like, and that's the thing. Like, I'm sort of sitting there, like, okay, I have pick 8. You know, do I want to try to trade and get CMC with my first round pick and see if he bites?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and for me, that would be a steal. Like in one league, I traded for him, and he's still he's still sitting in my IR. But it's a league where we have 4 keepers, and he's definitely one of them.
Yeah. Yeah, I think with CMC it's just tough because there's a few other players, I'm going to say one in a minute, where just the injury history is such a concern, where you want them on the field for the whole time, but everything around them is in shambles. But the one thing I will say is when the Panthers were bad, CMC still had a good season, which is what leads me to my bust pick, which is Saquon Barkley. Now, I say bust because he's running back 13 right now in ADP. Now, I think they have him ranked 17th, I just looked, but he's going as 13. And I still, after one good rookie year, what people are still seeing out of this guy who has not played in almost 800 days, really. I just, going that high, I think you could do CMC because he's had the back-to-back crazy seasons, but just the Saquon, the team is just not good. I just don't think they're a good team. Saquon, to me, is my bust, where if I was at pick 12 for running backs, I would rather take someone else well before I took him in the 3rd round. I'd want him in 5 or 6.
Okay.
My sleeper pick to me, and it's because of volume, is Zeke. Running back 22. I told you this earlier. I think running back 22 is massively disrespected. And the reason I say that, I'm not saying top 10 because I didn't put him in my list of top 10. Borderline top 15. He got almost 70% last year of running snaps. Now, Pollard gets a lot of catches. Pollard comes in on the second downs. I mean, the second quarters a lot. But they've been saying that Pollard's going to play a lot of slot. So I'm going to assume that's the case. And they've been playing this rookie they got undrafted rookie. He's been playing backup role running back. I just see Zeke. He's lost a lot of weight. He's healthy. I just see him being, if you're getting in the 5th round for him, I think that's incredible value if you're getting him in the 5th round as an RB2.
You say that he got 70% of the running snaps, but they only ran the ball 100 times.
But with less wide receivers now, I think they're going to run the ball more.
Okay.
They've already said that. And that's my thought, is that RB20.
They said that last year too, though.
But I think at RB22, the other players you're getting in the same kind of category, I think I'd rather have him over. I mean, you're looking at RB22.
I'm not going to be mad if Zeke is my RB3, but I'll be damned if he's my RB2.
I would take him over, right now, I would take him over Devin Singletary, Miles Sanders, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, because there's competition with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Travis Etienne is going to split. I'd probably take him over sometimes Elijah Mitchell, and that's about where I'd stop.
No.
Okay, so
they're all in the same range. They're all 20 to 28.
So here's my thing. And this is what I'm going to say with Zeke. We just talked about, when we were talking about wide receivers, the young names.
Yeah.
Okay. That's where you have to. That's where I'm going to. Zeke is not that. Zeke's is a name that you remember him leading the league in rushing 3-4 years in a row. But I think the cliff, he's sliding.
Yeah,
I don't think he's falling. I think he's sliding.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's going to be the bell cow this year. I don't think he can.
But I think with him being drafted as a high flex, low-end RB2, if you're getting him in that position, he could be an RB2, and you're getting him for better position than where you're drafting him.
All those running backs that you mentioned,
yeah,
I would take over him.
I just see too much backfield competition. Pollard's not as much of a backfield competition as they said he is, as the fans say he is. If you watch the percentages, he's not.
And it's not the competition I'm thinking of.
It's
the fact that I don't think he has that burst anymore.
Yeah.
I don't think he has the strength.
Yeah.
I don't think he has it anymore. That's why I think he's sliding.
I don't see a top 10 season, but I just think with him being RB22, I think that's a slide when he is the number 1 running back on a top 5 offense.
Okay.
And I know they lost Amari Cooper, and I get Gallup's hurt, but just the volume is sitting there waiting for him if Dallas wants to give it to him. And I just have that thing, top 15, 16. I think if you can get him where he's being drafted, I think you're good with that.
Okay.
So go ahead. We got quarterbacks next.
Yep. All right. So number 10 on the quarterback, I have Russell Wilson. Then I have Aaron Rodgers, Jalen Hurts, Kyler Murray, Dak Prescott, Tom Brady, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes, Jonathan Allen. My sleeper is Derek Carr, and my bust is Trey Lance.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
I think if you're San Francisco, you don't trade Garoppolo, and you go one more year with him. I don't like Lance. I don't think he's developed enough to take that step.
I don't think they've used him in the last year the way they think. I think they're going to use him this season. They've used him as like a gadget kind of thing, and I think if he has the number one role, I think he's talented.
He's got a cannon of an arm, though.
You know, and then Russell Wilson, to me, it's an upgrade in the offense, I feel, offensive line.
Yep.
I want to see what they do offensively, though, because now you got this shiny new quarterback. You're going to throw the ball too much.
More weapons than he's ever had.
And you have way too many studs in the backfield to throw the ball too much. But you're going to throw the ball too much. They're going to let Russ cook, and he's going to ruin your season. I firmly believe that. But fantasy-wise, I feel like he's going to put up numbers because that's what they're going to do. And I just don't feel – I'm not big on Denver this year. Fantasy-wise, I'm big on all of them.
I agree with the post that ESPN put out that Russell could be the number one quarterback in fantasy this year.
Oh, hell no.
Dude.
Not even close. He won't even finish top 5.
Wow.
So
you want to make a bet?
I mean, I have a bet out there with Chandler right now. He owed me 24 hours at a Waffle House, and he finagled his way out of it to do a double or nothing, saying Pollard's going to rush for 1,000 yards.
Okay, first off, I want to point out that I did not comment on that thread because that is some BS.
You know,
Pollard is not going to do that.
Chandler might owe me 48 hours at a Waffle House.
I want to make a bet right now that I bet you if he plays all 16 games in fantasy, Russell Wilson's a top 5 quarterback in fantasy.
No.
Shake my hand.
What are we betting?
It doesn't have to be. I don't know. Think of something. I'll buy you Chipotle.
All right.
It's a deal. Lock it in. I can't wait for you to buy me Chipotle.
Russell Wilson's not finishing in the top 5 in fantasy.
If he plays all 16, yes.
Okay. What about the 17th?
Oh, there's 17 games now. Good one, old man. Good one. All right. You did your sleepers in your bust, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Derek Carr's my sleeper, and my bust is Trey Lance.
Okay. Go ahead, Nate.
Number 10, I've got Dak Prescott. Number 8, Russell Wilson. Or number 9, Russell Wilson. Number 8, Aaron Rodgers. Number 7, Lamar Jackson. Number 6, Tom Brady. Number 5, Kyler Murray. 4, Joe Burrow. 3, Pat Mahomes. 2, Justin Herbert. And number 1 is Josh Allen.
Josh Allen. So you don't have
John Allen on my team. Sorry.
So you don't have Hurts in there.
No, he's 11th for me. I was debating between him and a couple people, to be honest with you. But I don't know. I don't trust him enough.
The only reason why he's in my top 10 is his legs.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's the only reason Lamar Jackson's in mine. And
Yeah.
Kyler Murray's so high.
I am not on that purple Kool-Aid. Everybody's saying Lamar Jackson was with a quarterback guru all offseason and learned how to throw. And his spiral looks tight and it's hard, you know, and I'm like, okay. And as soon as you get into games, the muscle memory comes back and he floats them.
I think there's also a chance for Lamar Jackson to have a small step back, and not because of him. You have Dobbins healthy this year. I think
not yet.
I know, but they say he could be ready by the start of the season.
My thing.
I look at it like this. I had Mark Andrews as my number 2 tight end.
Yeah.
And Lamar Jackson finished as the number 12 quarterback last year on a down year for him. And this is the year where he either puts up or shuts up.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to do whatever it takes
Mm-hmm.
to get money. If that's run the ball 100 times, he's going to run the ball 100 times. And when he runs the ball, he's dynamic as hell.
Okay. I mean, I don't think he finishes in the top 10. I've never been a Lamar Jackson believer. Sooner or later, I mean, again, this is fantasy, and that's why I put Hurts in my top 10 because of the running. So, yeah, Lamar Jackson. Now, if you listen to 105.7 The Fan, they're saying Lamar's going to have an MVP season.
Yeah, well, they're a bunch of idiots up there.
Yeah.
I don't see it. And the funny thing is all off season, before training camp, before the draft, everything, they were like, it's down, Now all of a sudden, Lamar hasn't signed yet. He's going to be angry. This is it. And it's like, okay. So, all right, go ahead, Christian.
All right, so at 10.
I didn't do my sleeper.
Yep, sleeper, yep.
For me, my sleeper is Trevor Lawrence.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And my bust is going to be Matt Ryan.
Okay.
Dude, Trevor Lawrence, I'm kind of getting on that train. I think he's going to take that step. I agree with Nate.
I'm telling you, man, I'm starting to get amped up. I'm reading reports from all the beat reporters I follow. It's like, I don't know, man. I'm getting a little amped up.
I think he's still. I think quietly he has it, and people forgot because of.
Oh, I don't think he doesn't.
I think Urban ruined a lot of people's opinions of him. I think this kid has solid ability to ball out.
Yeah.
I do. So my 10, I have Kyler Murray, 9 Aaron Rodgers, 8 Dak Prescott, 7 Lamar Jackson, 6 Tom Brady, 5 Russell Wilson, 4 Patrick Mahomes, 3 Justin Herbert, 2 Joe Burrow, and 1 Josh Allen. So I'm a little higher on Russell than most of y'all, and that just because I think with the new weapons, it's on paper the best weapons he's had for most of his career. I know he's getting older, but I just see they have a good line there too. They have great weapons. I just see a path for him to be that number 5 or better quarterback. And I also put Mahomes. Go ahead.
I think, and Mark kind of said it best. They have too much talent in that backfield.
Yeah.
I think what's going to happen is they're going to let Russ cook to start the season because he's the shiny new toy, and they're going to find out very quickly that they're not going to win games that way, and then they're going to start running the ball a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I think Russ is still going to put up numbers. Don't get me wrong; he's still Russell Wilson, but I don't think that he's. I don't personally see a path for him to be more than top 7.
Yeah. I think that's about where he'll finish. I know there's a path to be that way, like they said on the ESPN stuff. I think he's going to have a top 7, 8 season. I'm hoping it's top 5 for my Chipotle. I will say the only thing I did was I had Mahomes at 4, and that is because thanks to Mike Clay, he has these great stats that go back 20 years. And quarterbacks who lose their number 1 wide receiver in the last 10 years lose an average of 3.5 spots in fantasy. So that may not apply to Patrick Mahomes, but that's why I moved down Aaron Rodgers and I put Mahomes at 4 because I think all 3, Herbert, Burrow, and Allen, have better paths and weapons to be above Mahomes this year.
Okay.
But that's. I mean, if you're getting Mahomes as the 4th quarterback, you should still be happy.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't take him overall number 1.
Okay.
My sleeper is also Trevor Lawrence, and my bust is Deshaun Watson.
Okay.
Too soon?
No, I mean I don't think Watson is. Yeah. I think you draft him as your second QB to sit if he's suspended 6 games.
Yeah,
you draft him.
But I'll do another one if it helps because he may not play. Trey Lance. I think I agree on the Trey Lance trade a little bit. I think he's going to be good, but I think where people are going to maybe overdraft him, I think they're going to be disappointed. That's just me.
Now I know we're running a little long, but just one more question here: wide receiver suspended for 6 games, DeAndre Hopkins.
Yep.
Is he worth drafting and stashing, or do you think the DeAndre Hopkins train has left the station?
They go first.
I mean, he's still incredibly talented. He's one of the top route runners in the league. I don't think that he's left the station. I think it's worth a draft and stash, but you have to be smart about where you draft him to stash him because of the amount of time he's suspended. You cannot. It's something that you hope people forget about and see that he's not on their top list when they're trying to do a draft because, a lot of people just look at the top 10 names and they pick from that.
Yep.
You hope that people forget, and then you can draft him, bottom 5 rounds-ish, but he's not worth anything more than that to me.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to have someone sit on my bench and then come in and he's the best wide receiving option that they have when he's healthy.
Yeah.
He's better than Marquise Brown by a mile. A.J. Green's 48, and Zach Ertz is still good, but as Christian said earlier, he is getting older.
Yep.
Rondale Moore, they're using as a gadget player. So when D-Hop's there, you want him. I would almost draft him to trade him.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's interesting, too. And it's something I noticed, too, was I did a bunch of these drafts, and I tried to pinpoint where he came up, and it was a lot of times in the 15th, 16th, 17th rounds. So he's going as wide receiver 120th right now. That's where he's being drafted. So you're talking the range of Wan'Dale Robinson for the Giants, Tutu Atwell for the Rams, Byron Pringle for Chicago. And I think if you're around that range, you're drafting a wide receiver 4 or 5.
If you have 3 guys on your bench that
already,
are solid,
I would take him.
I would take Hopkins there.
I wouldn't wait till someone else takes him. I think, and this is another one. Just because we have a minute or two, I want to say this: Odell Beckham Jr. If he's still there and you only have 2 or 3 rounds left, take a flyer on him. He could get healthy and get drafted at some point this year. Again, late in the year, if you're looking at a playoff run and you have some injuries, you stash somebody on your IR and he becomes, let's say,
especially if he re-signs with the Rams.
The Rams.
Yep. Okay, so now real quick, go back to where we started with the A.D.D. show. We have 16 teams.
Yep.
How many teams are making the playoffs?
Well, it's supposed to be 8, right? Or are we doing 10? I just want to know. What do y'all?
This is a question I asked. I don't have an answer.
I would think 10 with 2 first-round buys.
Yeah, 10 with 2 I think that's what it was last year. So we had, 12 teams? It was 6. It was 8 with 2 first-round buys, I thought. Maybe not. I don't remember.
No, we didn't
I think it was just 6.
I think
there
we
was
had
no
7.
buys. Yeah, so I think we should do 10 teams with 2 first-round buys.
Okay.
I think that sounds cool. What do you got?
Yeah.
Does that sound good to you?
I'm good. Hey,
let's put it this way. I'm also super competitive, and I probably won't make the playoffs. I'm cool with 8 and 2 first-round buys.
No, I think more than half.
More than half? I hate that. All right, but we'll do it. Let's do it.
I would do 10 with 2 first-round buys.
Okay.
All right.
We can make that happen.
The losers that don't make the playoffs, like you guys, feel really bad.
Yeah, exactly.
There you
Because
go.
we are losers.
Yes, we are.
We never claim to be good at fantasy football. We just claim to talk, and you 5 people listen.
I do want to just say, LOEL. Yeah, I won again. So I think that's my 5th championship in that league. Yeah. Just so you know, I mean, Nate doesn't make the playoffs in that league, and you suck in that league. So
Okay, first off, I finished 4th. Let's just be clear. I've gotten 1 position or 2. My first year I lost every game. My second year, I finished 9th, 8th, 7th, now 4th. I'm moving up.
I do want to say Malik, if you look at his starting lineup for the championship game, Jamar Chase and Herbert outscored his whole team.
Yeah, no, it was pathetic.
He had so many injuries. Like, I felt bad. Like, he made the championship game with Band-Aids. Yep. And Chase scored 70 points in the championship game. But it's just that to be said. And our keepers will be set soon so we can start trading people.
Yep.
Trading draft picks. Nate, thank you so much for coming on again. I really hope you don't win this year. But that's just me. It's always good to compete with you. But my last question to you is how's baby Cece?
She is killing the game, man. She's eating a lot. She's up 3 pounds from birth, and has already grown over an inch. So she's killing it, man.
Nice,
badass,
nice.
dude.
Congratulations,
Yep,
man.
Congrats, bro.
Thank you.
Yep. Other than that, Nate, thank you very much. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, I'll talk to you guys.
All right,
All
man.
right, see you, bud.
Bye.
So there you guys have it. You guys all know your draft picks. This will be up tomorrow. I can't promise when we're going to get the pick order in and the leagues in, but once this is up, we'll let you guys know. Check it out so you know your order, and then we have a few months. Start drafting. Start practicing. It's 16 teams. If you haven't done it, practice. Even if I've done this, every mock draft you do with 16 teams, everyone else is a bot. You're the only one in there all alone. Just still try it because you want to learn who's around your pick in the first 2 or 3 rounds.
Yep.
Because you may be like, oh, I'm going to get this dude. And then you realize you don't pick for 30 more picks. It's a long time to practice so that way you guys can beat us.
Yep. All right. And we might be on next week. We might not.
All depends on if we have a bunch of stuff to talk about. We can always do it.
But other than that, everybody have a good week.
Have a good weekend.